Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin Out on WYES.
Peggy Scott LABORDE, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Howdy, Poppy.
Hello, Peg.
I love your kitchen.
Oh, it's Angelina Prima's kitchen.
That's right, that's right. There's a whole story. We'll have to share sometime, right? Anyway, it's beautiful. Chef, cookbook author Kevin Belton, hello.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my goodness, but thank you, because you are preparing a special meal to support WYES very soon, and so we're going to talk about the menu. And you are in our now famous Yes Cafe.
Yes,
so
I am.
Thank you, Kevin, for being here. And making his Steppin Out debut, national award-winning poet Brad Richard, here to talk about the Saints and Sinners LGBTQ Festival, now through Sunday. Welcome, Brad. Hello.
Thank you,
Hi.
Peggy.
And Alan SMASON of TheaterCriticism.com and the Crescent City Jewish News. Hello,
Hey,
Alan.
Peg.
You know, Poppy, I so enjoy when you share news of new out-of-the-way places, and this one's up there, right?
Absolutely, this one's up there. It's a secret. Actually, it's called Secret Birria. And if you're like me, what a birria is might be a secret to you. But easy way to say it, it's basically a juicy beef taco. And this is something that hails from Jalisco, Mexico. We first talked about these from Maui Tortilla. They were doing them there. That was the first place I heard of them. And it's basically this very juicy, delicious, beefy taco. Theirs are in flour tortillas, and they're grilled. And on the side, you get a little au jus, and it's that yummy, yummy sauce. So they also do a birriarito, which is a burrito they do the meat in. They have fried fish tacos and chicken tacos. They have house-made, those are their Cajun cracklins with queso. That seems like a natural, but here's the crazy thing. They also serve ramen there, which is like a no-brainer, but no other birria place has ramen too. It's got that perfect beefy, yummy, it's delicious. Anyway, there's a few outside tables, and where it is blows my mind, because the first house I owned was on the corner of Annunciation and Octavia. This place is across Octavia from basically where my house was. It's like a half block off Tchoupitoulas. So it's in that block. It's a totally residential area. It is kind of secret. And then, just to show you how prevalent birria is, at Maxwell's on Magazine Street, they're serving a vegan birria. Now, this is smoked jackfruit with a pistachio beet tortilla, coconut mozzarella, porcini ancho broth, and escabeche. And so, Maxwell's on Magazine Street, they're all about vegan and vegetarian dishes. I think some of the very best you can find in town. They're open every day from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. So,
Poppy, I am so silly, because when you said birria, I thought it was about beer.
you see, I told you it was a secret, but it's no secret anymore.
But how do you like that for fate, that you lived across the street?
It's bizarre.
Very small world.
Oh, well, you really will not believe where you are when you go there. But trust me, between Tchoupitoulas and Annunciation on Octavia, as
not too
uptown
far,
as you get.
Yeah, not too far from Octavia Books, too. Another
Correct.
Good place. Thank you very much. And moving over to Kevin. Kevin, my goodness, thank you so much. You're going to be doing one of our season, actually the last one of the season, of Personal Chefs, where you're making a dinner for the folks who buy the ticket to support WYES. And then we're going to have a virtual, if you will, dinner party and talk about, what you will have made. So let's tease with the menu, sir.
Well, I wanted to do something that, hey, it's all about supporting our station here. So why not do something really, really great? So I decided to go with a loaded bacon and potato chowder to get things started, And right now what you're looking at is a picture of the cheesy bacon wrap puff pastry strips.
Yep.
Basically, it's bacon and puff pastry that's twisted. That I made those to dip into the soup. Because I figured, why not? You know, why not have just soup, but something really go in with it. All right. So those puff pastry twist dipped in that soup. Oh, it's almost like having a soup in a bread bowl, except there you got bacon with the pastry. I can't talk tonight. I'm just excited about it. And we're gonna do a creamy Prosecco chicken with mushrooms. This was something that I was playing with this recipe and ended up eating it probably about 4 nights in a row because I thought it was really good. And I'm gonna serve that over a little angel hair pasta. Yeah, you could see my spoon buried in there. I mean, it is just one of those dishes that it's comfort food. When you sit down and eat it, it gives you a nice hug, and especially if you love mushrooms. So that's gonna be the entrees, and then we're gonna finish it up with some mini pecan pies. They're gonna have, I'm gonna make a bourbon caramel glaze to go on it. Now, this is gonna be on March 23rd, but the 17th is the cutoff date to get tickets. And gang, if you want tickets, you gotta go quick because they're going fast. But it's gonna be a wonderful time because afterwards we're gonna Zoom. And you know, you all can come pick up the meal, but you get to hang out with me. I'll show you a couple of little tricks about cooking, but anything you wanna know, pick the brain. That's gonna be the fun thing about it. I can't wait for the Zoom.
It really is going to be fun because our patrons who are going to be our viewers for that can actually write in. There's a chat feature, you know, with Zoom these days, and you can ask questions. You ask questions of Kevin, and you know, have that feedback. Plus, there'll be a nice bottle of wine that'll come with it.
Yes.
That James Moises of Bisou Wines is helping to select. So that'll be great fun. And then good old Community Coffee, who's our sponsor, they throw in some coffee too, some packets of coffee. So yes, it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
And I suggest everybody do this in their pajamas because after that meal, you can go right to bed.
Well, you know, we do that Zoom around. So if you want to be in your PJs for that, that's fine. But we do show who's on the Zoom. So just FYI, but that's fine. We're going to come back to you in just a few minutes and get an update on all the other wonderful things that you're involved in. But next up, thank you. We're going to go to Alan, Tennessee Williams Festival coming down the track. Huh?
Tickets are on sale now for the Tennessee Williams Festival. Again, some of the events are going to cost you a little bit, but most of them are all virtual and free. Opening night will not be a drag because as your cover girl, Poppy, Vince Santos will be acting as the MC with a number of exciting acts and performers. That's a $20 opening night fee for Wednesday, March the 24th. Again, moving on from there, the next night, Teatro Sin Fronteras. That's Thursday night with Jose Torres Tama, a host of other players, 7 in all. We're going to be basically a cast of Latin people who are going to be talking about approaching theater without borders. You'll be able to see that. And then Friday, we get to say happy birthday, Tennessee, with a number of special free events. Check this out. The first is from the archives with director and producer David Kaplan. That was our last visit together in New York back in 2019. David is going to be joined with Dr. Kenneth Holditch, Tennessee Williams scholar Thomas Keith, and film director and writer John Waters. Yes, yes, that John Waters. And again, they'll be discussing the archives, things that Tennessee had been responsible for. Immediately following that, at 11 a.m., a film of a short play by Tennessee that I saw back in 2016 called At Liberty, and I took this picture right after it. There he is, the director, Paul Willis. He's also, of course, the festival executive director, and a picture of Brenda Curran on the left and Beth Bartley on the right. Again, you can see a little touch of Tennessee Williams behind them on the wall there. You'll be able to see At Liberty in its entirety. And then at noon, Eric Paulsen's interview with Tennessee will be shown for free. You'll be able to see that. Then at 1 o'clock that same day, you'll see Brian Batt with playwright Lisa D'Amore here, but he's going to be interviewing Kenneth Holditch and speaking about Tennessee's influence on his life. And by the way, congratulations to Brian. Janet Shea, Brian, and Barrett O'Brien all got nominations as leading actors for the short film Garden District, which is now playing at the London Film Festival. Congratulations. We'll see if they win. We'll find that out. Later on, by the way, on that afternoon on Tennessee's birthday, Junebug Productions Executive Director Stephanie McKee, and Kathy Randels of ArtSpot Productions will be showing films called Come Home and Spaces in Between about making New Orleans their home and reclaiming that spiritual space that exists here. And then again, we'll have some time for some wonderful Tennessee Williams to be staged by my favorite group of all, the NOLA Project, Tennessee ×3. You'll see the plays that they presented as the hotel plays a few years ago, Green Eyes, Lord Byron's Love Letter, and The Lady of Larkspur Lotion. And then, of course, later on that night, let's not forget, it's going to be the tribute reading. This will cost you $20, but check out some of the amazing people in there. Alan Cumming, Blair Underwood, Mink Stoll, Many, many others. The Place That I Was Made For is the title, and it's all, of course, a reference to Tennessee Williams and his love of New Orleans. And then later on that night, the Felt Menagerie. This is a puppet version of the Glass Menagerie. It's being directed by Augustin Carrero. It costs $10, and you can get your tickets at the Tennessee Williams Theater Company, not through the website there, but at their own website, and that's where you check that out.
All right, thank you, Alan. It's a lot, and yeah, it's coming up. But let's talk about this weekend, Brad. Some busy doings. It's hard to believe it's the 18th annual Saints and Sinners. So give us an overview, sir.
Yes, it really is exciting. It's the 18th year of Saints and Sinners, bringing together readers, writers, and publishers to celebrate the vitality and diversity of contemporary LGBTQ literature. I started a long time ago as a panelist and a reader, and kind of fell in love with it, and eventually became a member of the board of the Tennessee Williams Festival. Super excited that we have, as always, a lot of marquee names: Dorothy Allison, Jewelle Gomez, Andrew Holleran, Edmund White. But this festival is also a great chance to get to know some new talent, especially at the free readings that are scheduled throughout the weekend. Lots of chances to learn about craft from established writers and about publishing from writers and publishers. We have some great ticketed workshops. They're only $20. Unfortunately, Dorothy Allison's has already sold out, but spaces are available in Jewelle Gomez's workshop, Michael Nava and Michael Clark Davison's workshop, and the legendary Felice Picano's workshop.
Yeah. So exciting, and we'll come back to you in just a minute to talk a little bit more specifically about some of the events. There are lots of events now and then the next few days. Yep. Thank you so much, Brad. And back to Poppy. I always love talking about Arnaud's, one of my favorite restaurants.
Well,
Poppy.
Peggy, we're talking about the virtual Tennessee Williams Festival, but I'm here to say that I think we're going to have some fun in person very soon. And that means that you can make reservations now to have Easter at Arnaud's. Doesn't that sound like a dream? Mm-hmm. From 10 a.m. until 2:30, you can make reservations for Easter brunch. It's $65 for the 4 courses. Now, if you can't wait to Easter, and you know that's going to fill up, so make those reservations now. But there's going to be an early celebration of St. Patrick's Day happening at Arnaud's on Saturday, March the 13th. From 11:30 until 1 p.m., they have 3 courses for $55 and shrimp fricassee with crispy Irish potato pancakes. There's corned beef, fish and chips, shepherd's pie, and me, I'd like a slice of that Irish apple cake. But if you don't want to celebrate early and you want to celebrate on the day, the place to go this year is Mr. B's on Royal Street, because they are having a St. Patrick's Day celebration all day there. They're going to have their regular menu and an Irish menu too. But check this out. Until 3:30 p.m., they also have $1.50 Bloody Marys or martinis, $1.50, or $3 Irish spritzers. So you can wear the green and get the luck of the Irish and gosh knows what else right there at Mr. B's on St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you so much. And back over to Kevin. And Kev, of course, for over 30 years, you have been a cooking school teacher, but also doing national cooking shows with WYES. And we mean national, shown by over 300 stations. In conjunction with that, though, you've done quite a few cookbooks. So tell us a little bit about those.
You know, the first one was Kevin Belton's Big Flavors of New Orleans. And that was like an introduction to folks for New Orleans and Louisiana cooking in general. And that book is, you know, a lot of folks tell me, oh, I have Chef Paul Prudhomme's first book, And this book is just as good as that. And that is one of the best compliments that I could really ever receive. And it's really fun to have the different shows to be able to show folks around the country what our cooking truly is. You know, everybody assumes our cooking is a certain thing, but that was from the first show. The second show was Kevin Belton's New Orleans Kitchen. And then we went to, that's the kitchen book. And what's ironic about this cover that's really great, the newspaper that the shrimp are on, that's a picture from the very first show. On the newspaper. And then we went to the celebrations, Kevin Belton's New Orleans celebrations, and that's, if I would have had a booth at a festival, these are the things that I would make. So there's a gumbo lasagna in there, there's an oyster tamale, and we just finished, and we're still working on exterior shots of the newest one, which is Kevin Belton Cookin, Louisiana.
Look at that set.
That set is incredible. I think this is going to be the best one yet.
That's a great picture, and we want to thank your wife, Monica, for supplying them. Those are wonderful sets, and that was done at WYES, but you're also traveling around the state. There's going to be some inserts, some video inserts, too, huh?
Just last week, we were in Zawali and up in Natchitoches. About the tamales. Up in Natchitoches, Alexandria. We're covering all over the state. Yesterday, I just got back from over in Cajun country doing some things. And there are so many wonderful people around the state. So this show gets to show off all of our state in the entirety, and how great people we have here.
And you know, Kev, we also like bragging on you because I don't think people, as many people know this. They need to know that you have a product line these days.
Yeah, you know, the seasoning is just an all-purpose seasoning. The Worcestershire sauce is a very thick Worcestershire, and it's aged in bourbon barrels. And the garlic sauce, I just love garlic. I can bathe in that. But that's something you can use as a marinade, any kind of way. And here's the interesting thing, since the pandemic's been going on, is the fact that I'm having problems. You know, Dorignax and Amazon, and I carry the seasoning. We've been having problems with getting lids for the seasoning because of the fact of bottles are in short supply and lids are in short supply. So hopefully soon we'll have it back on Amazon and back on the shelves in Dorignac. They have the garlic sauce and the Worcestershire. We just can't get the seasoning right now because no lids to cap the bottles.
Who would have thunk it, you know?
I know.
Well, once again, and just I have to reiterate, March 17th is the deadline.
Yes.
Go to WYES.org/events for information about Kevin's special.
And you can wear your jammies.
Okay, you can wear your jammies. You can. Jodie Foster did for the Golden Globe.
Yes.
Huh? Thank you so much. And back to Alan, more Talkin' Tennessee.
Right, March the 27th, that's Saturday, brings some really interesting events. Some of them, of course, are free. Starting off the day at 11 o'clock, Peggy, will be an opportunity to bring back Pulitzer Prize and Tony Award winner John Patrick Shanley. He's the playwright of Doubt and the scriptwriter for the movie Moonstruck. He was here last in 2015, and there's a picture I took of him then.
All right.
I understand the festival got somebody to handle that interview who might not need an introduction.
Alan, may I please interject? I was so honored and so thrilled that I did interview Mr. Shanley. And we were going to do it for about 45 minutes, and how about an hour and 10 minutes? Okay, we had so much fun, and I can tell you from knowing that the focus, I have so many friends who quote from Moonstruck. It has really become a cult film. And it's a wonderful film.
It's one of my favorites.
Good.
Good.
Well, we talk a lot about Moonstruck. Then we go into Doubt. Okay, the other, of course, big one for him, and so many others. And then we talk about generally. And he's got another project coming up as well. He just couldn't have been nicer. We had so much fun. So yes, do look forward to that.
He comes across as sort of an anomaly because he has that rough exterior and that sound that comes out of him that sounds like he's working on the docks or something,
yeah.
Yeah. But he's
from the Bronx.
He's brilliant.
His bio, by the way, I was sent, like his current bio, and it says, John Patrick Shanley, this is the first sentence, is from the Bronx. Okay. Okay.
Now, later that afternoon, for those of you who are interested in learning a little bit about Tennessee, you're not really familiar, they have an opportunity to have Tennessee 101. Augustin Carrero will lead a course in Tennessee. That's at 2 to 3 o'clock, and you'll be able to check that out. It's only $10, so why not invest in that? And then later that night, Brian Sands will be interviewing John Cameron Mitchell. Of course, you remember him from Hedwig and the Angry Inch fame. By the way, Peggy, do you know who came in and was the person who replaced John Cameron Mitchell in Hedwig?
No.
Our own Michael Cerveris.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
realize
yes,
that.
he was the second Hedwig. In any event, Brian will be doing that from 6 to 7. It's free. For more information, again, go to TennesseeWilliams.net. And, of course, this weekend coming up, it's going to be at its early time now at 2 o'clock. We'll get to see more of the Tony-nominated Emily Skinner from Sideshow, as she's going to be on the Seth Rudetsky concert this week. And again, it starts now at 2 o'clock with a rebroadcast at 7 o'clock. $25 for regular tickets, or $50 for those of you who want to check out that rehearsal ahead of time. Tickets will include that sneak backstage to check that out. And again, I'll even have, if you check on my Facebook, a little bit of a discount for those of you who check out my Facebook page. I'll have that.
I've so been enjoying those Seth Rudetsky concerts. He's so chummy with them.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, the patter in between the songs.
Right.
It's so much fun. Thank you, Alan. And back over to Brad to talk about this weekend with Saints and Sinners.
All right. I just wanted to highlight 4 different events to give a sense of the range of the offerings. But I've got to tell you right now that all I can think of is Kevin's bacon and puff pastry twists. So that's what's really in my head right now. All right. So tonight we have a great film tribute to artists, New Orleans artists John Burton Harder and George Durow, two internationally important LGBTQ artists, which will feature interviews between Brian Sands and Charles Leslie, Lawrence Henry Gobble and Kenneth Holditch, and an introduction by Brian Batt. On Friday at 2 p.m., I'll be promoting myself. We have a reading and celebration for Seven Kitchens Press, whose motto is Pie for Everyone, and was founded by poet Ron Mooring. And over the last 15 years or so, it's just done an amazing service for LGBTQ authors. So it'll be Ron and me and 2 amazing poets, Oliver Baez-Bendorf and Iris McLuhan. On Saturday at 2 p.m., I wanted to mention a conversation between lesbian feminist scholar and historian Julie Enser with poet and activist Judy Grahn about her new book, Eruptions of Inanna, Justice, Gender, and Erotic Power.
Woo.
And then finally on Sunday, a great craft talk about memoir versus fiction featuring authors Lucy Ann Bledsoe, Perry Brass, Farzana Doctor, Gar McVeigh Russell, and moderator Jim Provenzano. All of those events are free, and you can go to sasfest.org for more information.
All right, thank you so much, and kudos to Paul Willis, who founded
Absolutely.
the Saints and Sinners Festival. Thank you. Time for our picks of the week. Poppy.
Okay, this is a big one. Starting next Saturday, not this one, that's March the 20th, pop up on Chop at Rouse's on Chapatulas along the fence. It's a maker's market with 20 local vendors selling directly to customers from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is going to happen every Saturday. Batterina cheesecakes, buttery spell with compound butters and nut milk, and Miss Linda herself serving Yakima.
Ooh, does that sound good?
Yeah.
By the way, the Rouse's on Carrollton in Mid-City has a mini St. Joseph altar. So I thought that
really?
was a nice touch. Yeah. Thank you, Poppy. Kevin.
Well, this Saturday, I think I'm going to run away over to Bay St. Louis because they're having the Super Mud Fest, which is SOUPER, where it for $20 you get a bowl that's a handmade bowl by one of the local artists on a spinning wheel, and you go around to the different shops and they give you soup. And it's a fundraiser for the artists. And it's just a great, I think it's 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon. It starts over in Bay St. Louis.
Okay, thank you. Alan.
Peggy, this marks the 10th anniversary. You know, last year they weren't able to hold it, of the Birdfoot Festival, which is a great lineup of different concerts, all classical. Some are free and some will actually cost a little bit of money, but they're going to actually stage it in portions from now and through the end of May. Normally it was just 1 week in May. So the first concert is this Sunday's pairing of the Dvorak String Quartet number 14 with Florence Price's String Quartet in G major. That's the Jasper Quartet you see there. And Peggy, I will see you at the theater.
Okay, thank you so much. And Brad.
All right, so I'm going to plug the 35th Annual Tennessee Williams Festival's Writers Retreat, which is March 19th through 21st. And the whole festival itself, the week of March 24th through 28th. You can find out more at TennesseeWilliams.net. And I strongly encourage you to become a member of the festival.
Sounds fine. And as folks who have been going to the festival for 35 years will attest to, it was originally, pre-pandemic, all in one weekend. And so to be able to fully absorb it, it got spread out over 3 weekends, hence the reason for that. But thank you, Brad. And now it's time for my picks. On Saturday, the Piety Market in Exile will take place from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the corner of St. Claude and Spain Streets. It's right near the New Orleans Healing Center. Lots of booths, including one featuring Geraldine, Brezca, and Christian Schirach. And they sell succulents in vintage containers. I think that's fascinating. And there are lots of other booths and food, too. Thank you. And on Wednesday, St. Patrick's Day, a wreath laying by the Ancient Order of Hibernians by the Celtic Monument in honor of the Irish immigrants who lost their lives building the New Basin Canal. The group will gather where Pontchartrain and West End Boulevards meet near Fillmore. It's by the old Civil Defense Shelter. That's where, and it's all part of the planned Hibernian Park, the Irish park there. And at 12:30, you can watch the Hibernians Mass at St. Patrick's Church on Camp Street. Info for streaming, oldstpatricks.org. Later that evening, WYES presents the history documentary by Terry Landry called The Irish of New Orleans. And at 8, a musical journey of Ireland, also in WYES. And that night, by the way, the Superdome will be illuminated green, which is an event happening with many major buildings around the country. And next Friday, March 19th, is St. Joseph's Day. Numerous altars this year. Go to arch-n.org/St. Joseph's Altars 2021 for a complete list. Also, go to bkhouse.org for details of their altar, which will be debuting Wednesday through St. Joseph's Day. Finally, next week, we celebrate the kickoff of our 35th anniversary season of Steppin' Out. We'll look back at the arts, food, and culture of our dear city. Thank you all so very much, my pals, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.
Rouse's is proud of the creativity and the unparalleled entertainment in New Orleans, and honored to highlight it with their sponsorship of Steppin' Out on WYES.